Welcome back for another week of On the Couch with Dan and Dane, and it's been a great 2024. I'm finally getting rid of some of the Christmas kilos, mate.
I am not. I've retained them, and I'm going to continue. And that's what we're talking about today, right? Is retention. That's the big one for us.
Retaining something. I'm trying to get rid of it. So this week's flavour of the week is going to be retention benefits. We have actually seen quite a lot of our clients actually being offered that. Is it the right move? And can it be the trigger to get you into a property sooner? Let's have a chat about that.
Yeah, so what's it going to be? So you might be getting like big 30 gorillas, mate, $30,000.
Yep.
And then if you think about Queensland, you tap that on top of, you might have your HPAS that you potentially can get. There's another 11 grand. Get your first homeowners grant. That's jacked up at like 30, another 30 gorillas. There's 60 big gorillas in the backyard at the moment. But there's a lot of cash that is actually going to be coming your way. And you can look at it and go, you know what? That's a pretty substantial deposit for me.
Yep, absolutely. I think one of the biggest ones to keep in mind is genuine savings. So the bank doesn't like, let's say you're going for a first home loan deposit scheme, you're only going to come up with 5%. If you're there with donuts sitting in your bank account and then suddenly you get $30,000, but you haven't shown that you've been genuinely able to save that, repetitive, good money habits, the bank's still going to be a bit, we don't know if we actually went on loan with this guy because realistically beforehand, you were saving complete fuck all, to be honest, right? So you'll find it might help, but it has to be accompanied with a bit of genuine savings as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of those things is you're going to be pairing that obviously with your commitment back to defense as well. So it's always one of those things where you look at it and go, well, what if I then later choose that I need to leave defense? There's a lot of people out there that got caught out in previous retention benefits where they say, I want to leave. I've had an excellent job offer out in the real world, and then they've got to pay those dollars back as well. It becomes a really stressful time for them. So when you're thinking about it, it's got two fronts to it. It's got, was I going to stay in defense anyway? And then therefore you're like, big tick in the box, right?
100%.
Who'd want to leave defense these days? Or then on top of that, am I doing the right things to begin with? If I'm not doing the right habits, life doesn't get easier. It's not cheaper to own your own home to live in than to get RA. That is why so many of you out there are rent vesting and getting your RA, getting your married quarter, getting your living in accommodation and investing because it's way cheaper to do it that way as well.
Absolutely. It is the gravy train. So just remember that when you are being offered that retention benefit, sit down, have a long, hard think, talk to your family, chat to us. We're happy to talk to you about it. And we'll see you next week for another episode.